Starbucks is no longer a coffee shop. It is a dying shadow bank drowning in artificial sweetener and lost identity. The green siren, once a symbol of premium quality, has become a mask for a desperate financial entity. The siren didn't just lose its way, it sold its soul for the frictionless speed of a digital transaction. It traded the rich aroma of roasting beans for the cold, sterile click of a digital wallet. $30 billion of market value didn't just vanish. It was traded for the eerie silence of empty stores and the lukewarm disappointment of overpriced sugar water. Look at the lines. That's not demand. That's an operational failure disguised as a popularity contest. People aren't waiting for quality. They are waiting because the system is too bloated to function. This isn't a financial crisis on paper. It's a live-streamed global suicide of a once prestige brand name. Starbucks is no longer sure if it's a tech company, a bank, or a fast food joint. Once, it was defined as the third place, that sacred sanctuary between home and work. Now, it has devolved into a high-velocity, low-engagement sugar water assembly line. The leather chairs are gone, replaced by hardwood and cold metal. The jazz has been muted by the roar of the blenders. Every square inch has been optimized to make you leave. Howard Schultz built a cathedral for coffee. His successors built a drive-thru for cheap dopamine hits. They turned a ritualistic experience into a frantic transaction. You think you're buying a latte. In reality, you're providing an interest-free loan to a $100 billion ghost entity that uses your balance to fund its own corporate survival. Starbucks Rewards holds $1.6 billion of customer cash. That is a higher deposit base than many prominent regional banks. It is a bank that sells caffeine on the side. But money can't fix a broken heart. And the heart of Starbucks, the tired barista behind the counter, is bleeding out under the pressure of impossible metrics. They aren't masters or artisans anymore. They are factory workers in a green apron, expected to perform like machines while being paid like a service staff in an era of inflation. Imagine making a single drink with 100 customizations. A TikTok trend has become the new, invisible store manager, dictating complex recipes that break the spirit of the staff. When everything is special, nothing is. The premium label that once justified a $5 cup has been eroded into a discount tag for a mass-produced, sugary commodity. China was supposed to be the savior. Instead, it became the brutal mirror reflecting Starbucks' global decline as local competitors moved faster and cheaper. Luckin Coffee didn't beat Starbucks by roasting better beans. They beat them by building a superior algorithm that understood the modern customer better than the siren. The siren tried to be everything to everyone. Now, she is invisible in a sea of specialty roasters who actually care about the craft she once pioneered. High prices, low quality, infinite waiting times. This is not just a bad quarter. This is the classic textbook recipe for a legacy brand's eventual extinction. Now comes Brian Nagle from Chipotle with a mission to save a crumbling empire. But can a man who mastered fast food logistics understand the soul of a cafe? Can you fix a culture with a spreadsheet? Or is the rot so deep in the beans that the entire crop must be burned to start over? The mobile app was a Trojan horse. It brought efficiency but killed the hospitality. It transformed the barista into a slave to the digital queue. You don't go there for a connection anymore. You go there to hide in the blue light of your phone while a machine screams in the background. But the world found them out. And it brought the reality of a $7 liquid sugar bomb that offers no value beyond a temporary spike in glucose. Gen Z is walking away. They want authenticity. They want the grain. They want something that doesn't feel like it came out of a corporate lab. Starbucks is a luxury price for a cheap commodity experience. That gap is exactly where empires die. When price and value lose their handshake, the fall is inevitable. They forgot that coffee is a ritual. It's a pause in the day, not just a line item on a financial quarterly report to satisfy hungry investors. The siren's song has turned into a factory whistle, and the world is tired of the tune. It's a monotonous sound of greed over craft. Inflation is just an easy excuse. An identity crisis is the cold, hard, and undeniable reality. They tried to be everything and became nothing. They expanded until they became thin. Now, they are as transparent as their melting ice. The illusion is gone, and the curtain is falling. A brand that belongs to everyone eventually belongs to no one. It loses the specific gravity that held its community together. This autopsy reveals a simple truth. You can't mass-produce magic without losing the heart of it. You can't scale a feeling. The stock market wants growth. The customer wants a home. Starbucks chose the cold numbers, and in doing so, they lost the house. Numbers don't have a scent. Numbers don't smile at you. They don't make you feel like you belong to something bigger than a transaction. The decay started when they stopped being a cafe and started being a logistics nightmare. They prioritized the moving of cups over the brewing of joy. Every drive-through window is a nail in the coffin. It's an admission that the place doesn't matter as long as the cash flows. Convenience is the killer of human connection, and Starbucks chose convenience every single time they had a choice to make. Now, they are stuck. Too expensive for a quick caffeine fix, too soulless for a slow morning. They are the ghost of the middle ground. The siren is drowning in her own excessive syrup and corporate greed. She forgot the very thing that made her sing in the first place. This business autopsy is a warning to every giant who forgets their origin story. When you lose your story, you lose your future. Because in the end, Starbucks is no longer a coffee shop. It's a dying shadow bank drowning in artificial sweetener. Let's talk about the app trap. It's designed to keep you addicted to the green glow. Every notification is a psychological nudge to spend money. They use gamification to mask the inflation. Earn stars, get rewards. Ignore the fact that your latte now costs twice as much. This is the gamification of caffeine. A dangerous game where the house, the siren, always wins, and the customer loses their sense of value. Starbucks didn't build an app. They built a dopamine delivery system. A digital needle that injects a false sense of urgency into your morning. And when the dopamine wears off, you're left with a cold $7 regret. You look at the cup and realize it's just a hollow container. The baristas are the shock absorbers of this broken system. They take the heat for corporate decisions made in air-conditioned offices far away. Make it faster, the metrics scream. But you can't rush a conversation and you can't automate a smile without it feeling like a lie. Speed kills quality, and eventually it kills the brand. You become just another fast food stop, competing with burgers instead of beans. The third place was about the hum of human connection. Now it's the mechanical scream of a printer producing endless tickets. Every ticket is a tiny prayer for the shift to end. The passion is gone, replaced by a desperate race against the clock. Corporate says they care, but their actions in the courts tell a different story. They fear the power of their own people. A brand built on the illusion of kindness can't survive a war with its frontline workers. The mask is slipping, and the greed is showing. They spent millions fighting unions instead of investing in the beans. They chose legal battles over better brewing. This is the ultimate irony. A company that sold community is now tearing its own community apart from the inside. Prestige is earned in drops, but lost in buckets. The siren's bucket is leaking, and no amount of marketing can plug the hole. Why pay a premium for a product that feels mass-produced and cold? The value proposition is officially broken. The magic was in the craft. Now, it's just a button on a machine. The human element has been optimized out. Machines don't care about the roast. They don't care about the customer. They only care about the cycle time. They spell your name wrong because you are just a number in a digital queue, a data point in a vast, cold algorithm. This is the dehumanization of the coffee experience. A factory floor disguised as a cozy cafe. Then came the pink drink era. The exact moment coffee died and the visual aesthetic took over the soul of the shop. If it doesn't look good on a smartphone screen, does it even exist for the modern, corporate Starbucks? They chose the photo over the flavor, the fleeting trend over the centuries-old tradition of the brew. But trends are ghosts, and when they fade, you're left with a hollow brand and massive, unpayable overhead. The siren is exhausted from the dance. She has performed for too many audiences and lost her own original voice. Let's look at the numbers again. Wall Street is smelling blood in the stagnant water of the coffee industry. Investors don't care about the third place philosophy. They only care about the quarterly same-store sales. And those sales are freezing over, like a forgotten latte sitting on a cold park bench in December. They tried to raise prices to cover the operational gap, but every customer has a psychological breaking point. $7 for a cup of sugar? In this economy? The consumer math simply doesn't add up anymore. You can get a better cup at the local roaster for less, and they actually know who you are. The small shop is the new prestige. The giant is the new corporate clutter in our neighborhoods. Starbucks is fighting a war on two fronts, local artisans on one side and fast food giants on the other. They are too slow for the fast food crowd and too fast for the slow coffee lovers. They are the middle ground ghost. The middle ground is where brands go to die. It is the valley of the forgotten and the mediocre. So they hired Brian Niccol, the man who fixed the burrito. But coffee is a ritual, not a commodity to be wrapped. You can't wrap a sacred cafe experience in a silver foil and expect the soul to remain intact. Culture is a slow drip process. Logistics is a fast pour business. They are clashing like oil and water. This is the final act of the autopsy. The cause of death is clear: the loss of the company's heart. Because in the end, Starbucks is no longer a coffee shop, it's a ghost bank of sugar. We must look at the efficiency trap. When you optimize for speed, you inadvertently optimize for loneliness. The barista's smile used to be the anchor of the morning. Now, it's a forced script in a race against a timer. When you treat your employees as variables in an equation, they stop being the guardians of your brand. The union movement wasn't an attack. It was a cry for help from the people who actually make the coffee. But the corporate response was cold. They chose lawyers over lattes, control over connection. The siren's image is cracking, not because of the economy, but because of a lack of empathy at the top. Can the new leadership reverse the rot, or is the spreadsheet the only language they still know how to speak? You can't market your way out of a bad product, and you can't logistize your way into a human heart. The world is moving on to smaller, more authentic experiences. The era of the mega brand is fading into the grain. Starbucks is now a lesson for every business. If you lose your why, your how doesn't matter. They traded the community for the transaction, and now the transaction is failing too. Every store closure is a ghost of a dream that Howard Schultz once had for a better America. The siren is silent now. The music has stopped. The lights are flickering out one by one. This is what happens when you prioritize the app over the person, the data over the dream. The coffee industry is evolving, but Starbucks is stuck in a sugar-coated past that no longer exists. Their pride was their downfall. Their scale became their prison. We are watching the end of an era, the death of the global coffee titan as we knew it. But the lessons remain for those who are willing to listen to the silence in the cafes. Remember this the next time you see that green logo. It's not a shop, it's a warning. because in the end, Starbucks is no longer a coffee shop. It is a dying shadow bank drowning in artificial sweetener.